Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Bob here. Welcome back to another BT3 guide. So, like I promised last time with the Gotenks guide, today we're going to be talking about Nuova Shenron. So, actually a fun little thing about this. So, I mentioned that this was part of a commission that I was paid for by someone through my emails. And I only received money for one of the guides. I just although I couldn't really tell if it was Gotenks or not. I think it was initially for Gotenks. There was talk for Nuova Shenron, but I figured, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do Nuova Shenron because, well, I mean, I'm gonna be real here. I've been meaning to talk about this rendition of Nuova Shenron for fucking years because this version of Nova has quite a bit of history, actually. So, first of all, one of the reasons why this version of Nuova Shenron is so special is because this is the very first playable version of him pretty much anywhere, I want to say. This was definitely the very first version that was playable in the States, for sure. And as far as the best of my knowledge, I think he's also the first time he's playable in Japan, too, because unless he's playable in some obscure Butoden game from, like, I don't know, this Super Nintendo or some weird shit, which even I'm unaware of, I'm pretty damn sure this is the first time he was ever playable. And was only this game for a long time before Xenoverse 1 or 2. It was one of those two games, but where he actually became playable again, and that took a long ass time, which is a damn shame because despite GT's many rampant flaws, I honestly feel like Nuova Shenron was one of the better ideas that they actually had. I say actually, to say that despite the fact that Super Saiyan 4 is probably arguably one of the best designed and best risks taken in the entirety of Dragon Ball as a whole. I'm gonna completely say that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Nova here. I guess we should start from the top of the list, shall we? Alright, so I want to get out of the way first, because this version of Nova is very special. And another cool thing about this version of Nova, so over here is this two-player color, which happens to look a lot like Ice Shenron. I mean, not quite. This is, of course, like, pretty much chrome platinum, as opposed to, like, the weird shade of blue Ice Shenron actually is. But, dude, I'm gonna be honest, I like the two-player outfit way better than this. In fact, that second-player version of Nova, I used to use that shit a lot, but that was the only way I actually picked him up. Before making this guide, I've never actually used Nova Shenron that much, and that's probably a fault of mine because I relied so heavily on other characters in this game. But that's just me personally. Okay, so, taking this from the top of the list. Well, he's got quite a few strengths, actually. So, I think one of the big things we should talk about first of all is his normal strengths. He's got a pretty good assortment of stuff. The unfortunate thing here is that, no rolling hammer. Which, I mean, you know, not every character on God's Green Earth needs a rolling hammer. That's kind of a given. That's usually reserved for, like, the top characters like Omega Shenron and GT, I guess. But, I mean, giving him a rolling hammer would have made him a lot better and would have accentuated his mix-up options that much more. So the fact that he doesn't have it, not a deal breaker, but it's unfortunate. It's like a character in fighters not having a load too well, which means it's not horrible, but that means you gotta be a little more free thinking with your stuff, if you know what I mean. So there's that. A couple of other noble strengths I find he has is that I think he has a slightly higher than average dash speed. I mean, that could strictly be me. I might be imagining that, but I want to say he does have this. He's got a pretty sizable dash speed. I want to say. I mean, compared to a giant character or Nappa or other stuff, maybe not, but I think it might be slightly higher than usual. Maybe. I'm going to say it is, because fuck it. Alright, so on top of that, sorry, also, I'm a little more downplayed right now because it's like 1 in the morning, so can't really be shouting this at the top of my voice, you know what I mean? Okay, so he's got good distribution of moves. He's got flying kicks as his Smash 1, which is pretty good. Smash 4 is a heavy finish, which is pretty decent. Smash 2 is a key wave, and Smash 3 is a rush key wave. I'm not really a big fan of the rush key waves in this game because if you fully charge them, there's no real benefits on block. I tried it earlier. I do not believe rush key waves are positive on block. Maybe with a handful of exceptions they might be, but for the most part, I don't think so. Which is unfortunate, but, you know, can't have everything in the world, right? I just think you should be rewarded for putting your opponent on block so much that they end up having to eat that, but, yeah, you know, whatever. So there's that. Other stuff, other general things. Well, I mean, I guess we could take things from the top then, shall we? So, first of all, Blast Ones. I'm gonna be real here. I think Nuova Shenron might have one of the best distribution of blast ones in the entire game. I'm gonna be completely real, because he has two things that never go together: explosive wave and instant transmission. So first of all, explosive wave. This is one of the best key waves hands down, or best blast ones hands down. You can use it mid combo. It's a really free get out of jail free card if you don't want to do the L1 stun cancel, which I don't know how to do in the GameCube version. Like, I keep mashing buttons, but it's like it doesn't work. Maybe you gotta like press one of the other triggers or some shit. I just don't know what it is. Whatever. Again, I'm more used to the PS2 version and not the emulated Wii version, so I'll figure it out eventually. But it's a really good alternative if you don't want to burn the health bar for it. It's just pop it right there. Nice. And on top of that is instant transmission. I don't think I need to mention this too much. I've made a full guide on this in the past. It's a little dated, but it does go over the general strengths of instant transmission. So, for a quick refresher, it can allow you to do something like this. You can bring a free approach like that. If I'm faster with this, you can actually combo this. Like so. Which is really good, because that's a free conversion off of Key Blast, which is really neat. I do find this immensely good, personally. There's also the fact that this is the free extension to your combos if you don't want to burn a teleport, a lip strike, or any of those other commands. The trick here is your opponent has to be flying away facing you. So that means if I knock him away, if he's still facing me like he is right now, I'll be able to use it. So for example, right here, I just appear right on his back, and I can continue from there. A better visual example of this would be... and use this now. There you go. And you're able to pop off after that, which is pretty good. You know, doing this makes me want actually motivated to make like a Super Saiyan 4 Goku guide, because that is my true main in this game. That's who I use all the time, so maybe it's another point. But yeah, no, instant transmission, really good. The problem with him though, 3 fucking gauges. That is hilariously expensive. There's some powers that are very limited that are 3 bars, and they aren't even worth it. And this, I mean, considering this move is a game changer for a lot of characters, like, it'll immediately make them a lot more viable. Like, I feel like Super Perfect Cell wouldn't be nearly the utility tool. I feel like you wouldn't have as much of a good toolkit if not for this. So the fact that this has 3 bars, pricey, but there are items like Heart of Justice and something else that are in custom tabs to make this a lot more cheap. So not horrible. Just be wary if you're doing normal matches. It can be a little up there in price. So, you know. But these two together, a great offensive option and a great defensive option. This is not bad. This is a very unique spread. I literally do not know of any other character. So generally, explosive waves are reserved to like non-Super Saiyan characters, or Super Saiyan characters are not named Goku, because generally Goku has the instant transmission, of course. The fact that someone else has it in their regular toolkit is really good. It's also unique. This is done with the second slot instead of the first slot. Usually the first slot is explosive wave, but no, his is IT. So the fact that, you know, this is the second slot is kind of unique. Just, you know, want to put that out there. So on top of that, Blast 2s. Blast 2s are very mixed. I'm gonna say that. They're not what you want, but they're functionable, I will say. So I guess to put it simply, he has function. Okay, so first of all, he has a very functionable Blast 2 and one that he kind of wishes a little bit better. Okay, so first of all, the first attack. So just gonna say this straight up right now, this is probably his best projectile move, period. I say this is his only real combo ender. At least I feel like. His ultimate attack, I said almost an ultimate jutsu. This is not Naruto right now, Bob. His ultimate move is just not up to snuff. It's not quite as bad as Majube's lightning arrows, but it could be a lot better. So this is generally what your combo ender is going to be. His second one is Brain Tornado? Yes. And if you recognize this animation, it's pretty much just the same as Hyper Tornado from Pycon. So if you're familiar, that move is also very unique. So let's go ahead and break this down a little bit, shall we? So yeah, Burning Tornado. This move's weird. First of all, 100% unblockable. I've had this done against me, couldn't block it. I've done it, opponents can't block it. Okay, good. So, where's the problems with this move? First of all, 4 bars. 4 bars for something that is hard to just toss into a combo and doesn't really break 10k. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I'm not gonna use that too much. What's also strange is that you can manually change this move's trajectory. So if I do it, if I hold left, I'm just gonna go left. Now, the strange thing about this is that this is not like set on a, this does not follow your opponent whatsoever. So whatever direction you press, you're gonna keep going in that direction. So basically he turns from a character into an RC car. It's really strange. So like, do this and hold left, you keep going left in that same direction. Now do this to go up. There you go. You keep going up, like straight up. So, a little unwieldy. I like the idea of being able to freely guide this so you can mix up your opponent on your approach, but considering this is already unblockable, and it's 4 bars, the added confusion on top of it is just not really worth it in my book. That's just me though. Does it still hurt? Oh yeah, definitely. If you use this close in, your opponent is not blocking this. The only ways they're gonna block this is if they use After Image Strike, the AI is really hungry with the fucking Z counters, or if they like somehow knock you out of it, like I don't know, maybe Android Barrier or Explosive Wave, like right at the perfect moment. But for the most part, this is gonna be hitting someone. So pretty good, pretty good. The only problem is that it's slow on velocity. So if the opponent is a little far away like this, they can probably react to you. And it's not hard to do that either. So, you know, it's in charge, Super Kamehameha Wave, that's a little questionable. But for the most part, pretty good. I don't mind this too much. So yeah, those are his 2 Blast 2 moves. Out of both of them, they're used this the most. So Burst Attack, it's got a pretty healthy hitbox actually. Like, hold up. So that in comparison to the opponent, that's not too bad. You know, every time I look at this, I swear to God, it's got like 2 balls burnt into it. I say burnt, that was a bad word choice, but like, this always looks like it's 2 attacks in one. Like, it always just looks like there's just 2 attacks layered on top of each other. It's really strange. So adding on top of that, the fact that this thing has pretty good speed, it seems to, I don't know, like this thing just feels strange. Like it's with a lot of other moves, like with beams that of course have like the hitbox all around the beam. With this thing, it feels like once you let it go, it's fucking going. I mean, I get that it's probably like, you know, Broly Blaster Shell and all that stuff, but I don't know, maybe it's just because I don't use characters that have standalone ball attacks like this, like Big Bang Attack. I don't know. But, you know, I think it's also because Big Bang Attack is just that much faster on startup. No, that might just be me, but that's just how I personally feel. So yeah, and I guess to quickly talk about his ultimate, you're not going to really use this too much. So this is basically it. Plasma Meteor. So if you're familiar with GT, first of all, I don't blame you if you don't remember this part of GT whatsoever. He tried using attacks similar to this to cage Omega Shenron and then melt him from the inside, which was a cool idea, but you know, and then Omega Shenron blasted the Dragon Balls into Nova Shenron's body and turned into another Omega Shenron. It was stupid. Yeah. GT pulled a lot of ass pulls, so you know, that's aside. This attack is strange. First of all, it's a sort of volley attack that comes from above, which is very strange. Like, watch this. So the orb pops up above the opponent, right? And then from there, it does a volley attack. And you can see that because not all the attacks hit the opponent. Like, you see impact just going off to the side. It does still break the lock. I can never get this to break 10k unless I do like a really weird ass angle. It's one of those moves, you know? It's one of those things where unless you launch them at a very specific angle, hell, I don't even know what that angle is. I've tried like multiple different approaches to this move. It just does not work whatsoever. That said though, I will give this attack credit for a few things. 1, unblockable, pretty good. 2, 4 bars, that's alright. I feel like if you're using an ultimate attack, you're either dumping a lot of meter on purpose to do a lot of damage to your opponent, or you're ending out the match. So the fact that this is 4 bars and it's unblockable, It's okay. Not horrible, but eh. On top of that, this is very hard to dodge. Like, I've done this against the opponent a few times. Unless you're full on, like, already dodging, you're not going to be able to get out of the way of this. Like, again, after image strike is your way out if you don't use, like, a lot of after images already. It gets ready, this move hits quite a few times, like at least a dozen times. You're not going to get out of this very easily. Again, you know, unless you're fighting a specific character who has certain counter options. Yeah, again, but between the piddly damage, the unreliable hitboxes, yeah, I wouldn't rely on this too much. This is why I advocate for using first attack as your enter instead. It's literally only 600 points less. It saves you a bar, and it's a lot more consistent. So I mean, yeah. I mean, if you do it against an opponent after you throw them, they will be able to get out of the way pretty quickly. So unfortunate, but not horrible. Oh, yeah, it's kind of like this kickboxing stance. That's pretty cool, I guess. Nuova Shenron has a lot of cool aspects of his character from GT. Again, he's such a good character from GT. Yeah, for basically being like a mirror reflection of King Piccolo. That's pretty good. Get some water. Alright, so next up is actually his Ki Blasts. And this is one of those things where you're going to get more mileage out of doing this against an opponent than doing this, or doing this against a human than doing this against an AI. So first of all, the Ki Blasts. Choose 7 of them. And a charge Ki Blast is them to choose special. Now, here's the interesting bits. First of all, if you look at these, there's trails of fire on all of these, and if you do this against a human, this is gonna fuck with their perception, because like, you look at these and you're just like, well, okay, I can kind of make out which one's actual like balls, but seeing them from behind, this is very difficult to distinguish. So that's a pretty good beginner attack right there. And his charge Ki Blast is just, God, you can, this is technically one attack, but this is very difficult to follow, especially if you're on the receiving end. Like, this is not easy to keep track of whatsoever, trust me about that one. Yeah, that's, I mean, that doesn't really illustrate it too well, but yeah, that's not too great, I would say. Well, I mean, in terms of trying to block it. It just really the fire effect really distorts the opponent's vision, and I feel like if you're able to, like, just visually annoy your opponent with this is actually not a bad tactic. Just, like, keep just dropping these on the opponent, and then, you know, you just, like, coming after them when they're all the sword and stuff. And I feel like that's not a bad tactic. If I ever... Okay, so, first of all, anytime I fight other human opponents, I'm generally way better than them at this game because I actually play this game a lot, so whenever if I test against the AI, I mean, of course they know the Ki Blast, they are programmed to know what the hitbox is instead of the effects. But a human opponent, if they don't know a Nuova Shenron matchup too much, you can probably fuck with them really hard, so this might be some good fringe tactics for you. On top of, you know, the Ki Blast actually coming out pretty quick for the full charge, and causing a flop stun, so pretty good, I would say. Not too bad. I like how I actually caught. Sorry, the game keeps lagging for some odd reason. I think I'm gonna mess with my emulators at some point to see what the problem is, because it does this with my Yu-Gi-Oh games as well. Strange, but all right. All right. So what do we have? Throw next. The throw. Also, again, this could be a little on the shorter side for our guide because it's all one form. I don't do one form characters too much. Alright, okay, that works too. So the throw is basically a modified version of a dragon throw. Although it includes some more hits in it, so watch this. Pretty cool. It does throw the opponents right away. You can warp after them with a instant transmission, which is pretty cool. It just looks so weird with, like, the fact that he actually uses his legs like fucking guard or bird legs or something. It's really neat, but there's not really much else unique to this throw, unfortunately. I feel like it might have better grab range than usual with Nuova Shenron's really giant limbs, but that's about it. I can't really think of much else to this move besides that. Pretty decent though. Yeah, I would say I don't have much to say. It's basically just like your standard dragon throw kind of technique, so not too shabby. Those are always nice to have. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh yeah, I should probably talk about that really fast. Burst attack's range is actually obscene. Let me go ahead and show it to you really fast. Just reset position. So we've gone over like the ranges of attacks before and past. This move goes far. Like that was all the hits connecting, and usually from this range, you probably get a drop off of about like a handful of the hits. But from here, no, this is all the hits. This is really good. Like, this is actually not that bad. Alright, so let me just go ahead and actually knock him far back. To really illustrate this move's fucking range. Literally end to end of the stage, the exact opposite ends of each other. Watch this. That still made contact. Not all the hits, because I'm pretty sure it's actually the stage wall just throwing out the hits, but still though, this is nothing to scoff at. This is really good. Let's go ahead and knock my quarter actually. If I can get him to hit a wall, that'd be even better. Actually no, that would defeat the purpose. He's pretty close to a wall, not too bad. That's all the hits. Okay, you can see the green shit right there on his side. Like, he is actually pretty close to a wall. Yeah, he's not too far away from a wall right now. So the fact that all that made contact, yeah, it's pretty good. At least he should be close to a wall. Huh. I guess there's just some greenery there I didn't see before. But still, 3/4 of the screen, pretty decent. This move can just snipe you from fucking Narnia, and you won't really have a problem with it. It's great. Okay, other things that I've written in my notes over here. Oh yeah, his ultimate can also be interrupted by physical attacks if you do too close to them. A little bit of an issue. That's why you don't do this like point blank to your opponent's face. You can do it a little farther away though. And hold up, let me block him back. Like if you're this range, the opponent will be able to hit you out of it because you can see like the start of everything. Your opponent can still move. Oof. That did the exact same damage as a regular burst attack. It's amazing, but yeah, no, that's don't do this too close to your opponent. I would only use this ever as a combo ender, or if you really need to chip out your opponent for that last bit of health, this might be a good option. But aside from that, whatever. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, so I mean we've been going over his toolkit this whole time of his range. Like his range game is really good. Not oppressive. There's no barrage death beams in here. Like, get my goddamn fucking move, I swear. Yeah, I guess we could talk about start going over his melee attacks. So his melee attacks are where he gets really good and really strange. So, first of all, the sweep. The sweep is goddamn massive. Because, you know, a lot of his attacks actually do have unique animations as opposed to being like just standard Goku low sweeps and lift strikes. This move is goddamn good. I have caught people full on like 2/3 to my left side, to my back, and I've clipped them with this. This is awesome. I think the tracking is a little weak on the right side, but this move is not to be trifled with. But that said, unfortunately, this has a Goten incentive of no follow-ups. You can get the follow-ups with the heavy finish this time though, which is really good. Or I swear to God you could. I might have been thinking of someone else then. Oh, that's a shame, but yeah, well, whatever. But yeah, no, you don't have follow-ups after your low sweep, which can be good if you accidentally screw up and you press triangle again. But for the most part, it's not really going to happen. I still wish it would work, but nah, it's not a thing. Yeah, it's unfortunate. So let's go ahead and start talking about the physical attacks then. Lip strike. I actually don't use the lip strike that much, and which is a damn shame because like this move looks like it's got a healthy ass hitbox. This is not too bad. So on top of the really huge ass leg he puts out to boot the opponent with, he's got pretty good forward advancement in this too. Like, it might just because of the first jab. The first jab sends him fucking far. That's really good. But like, it's got a pretty decent hitbox to it as well. Yeah, look at that shit. That's not too bad. Probably like, I don't know, 6 feet in front of him, 7 feet, 8 feet, something in that ballpark. But yeah, no, Nova's legs are pretty decent, I would say. In terms of his toolkit now, A weird thing about a lot of his melee attacks is that they have a lot of startup. They also have like really weird timing to them too. So like his low sweep, despite his massive size, does take a second to come out, as does his lift strike. They also have some end lag, not horrible amounts. It's not a Goten strike I compose, but it is noticeable enough to make you kind of take pause every once in a while. And the timings of his moves are strange enough to make you second guess a lot of stuff you're doing. Like, just look at the pacing of like his general moves here. It's kind of hard to gauge like where you should play stuff. Kind of. It's not a little bit of practice and you can bypass it to a degree, but like he does really like giant swings with his body. It's kind of not horrible, but it could be better. This is no concrete focused moveset you're getting. This is a character that swings wildly, but again, giant limbs, so take it for what you will. All right, so yeah, flying kicks are pretty decent. Like one was just randomly connected for no reason. Pretty decent, I would say. Yeah, that's not too bad. This one's pretty. So the charge key wave is pretty good. It's actually called that. Let me go double check that. Key cannon. Okay, the key cannon is all right though, because unlike Ultimate Gohan, you can place this as deep into a combo as you want, and it won't knock the opponent away. Which is pretty cool, I would say. That means that you can kind of just go ahead and like just toss this wherever, and you do have a follow-up afterward on full charge. So it's pretty good, not too bad. Then he does have this standard rush key wave, which I'm kind of more different to. It's not too bad off of him because I feel like with Nuova Shenron, with the way he is, this is not too bad just having there. I feel like he could use another heavy finish or a rolling hammer, but for what it is, not bad. It is a combo ender if you so choose, but the problem is it does take. Actually, there's a problem with a lot of his moves. It takes a while to fully charge them. Like for fucking Super Saiyan 3 Goku, just it's charged, no problem. For Nova, takes a little bit to charge, a little on the slow side, sluggish. Not a horrible amount, but just enough to make it take pause and be like, okay, am I going to commit to this? Can I just make the opponent guess a 50-50 on if it's going to be full charge or not? If yes, cool. If not, eh. So, yeah, you have to be a little more methodical with his physical mix-ups. I feel like most of his strengths is definitely his long-range game between his really, really strong Blast 1s and his competent Blast 2s. His physical attacks, definitely substantial. I mean, this fucking ground slash is nothing to take lightly, but in terms of this, he's definitely good. He's very good, for sure. That's not being contested, but it could be a bit better. I'm just going to say that. So, it's, you know, take for what you will. I feel like for the general placement and his combo structure, they are really good. Like, again, having flying kicks off of his Smash 1 is really decent. Being able to go to the end of a combo and do a heavy finish is really nice. Now, all that being said, getting to his heavy finish is a little tricky. So, I'm just going to do a normal combo for him, and I want you to watch like just the sheer amount of hits that go on in this. And remember, every single one of these is just 5 square buttons. So that should have been 10 hits, but we got 14. So that means at the end of every one of his square strings, there's an extra hit being tacked on. So let me go ahead and break this down. 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits. There's the extra hit. Oop, that wasn't it. So yeah, it's as opposed to like Gogeta where you have extra hits being tacked on at the very end. He does an extra hit on the 4th strike. So that means if you want to pace yourself going into a heavy finish and you're trying to do this on reaction, it requires a little bit of dexterity. This actually threw me off a lot at first. I was like, how am I screwing this up so badly? So the trick I find, if you want to land a heavy finish consistently at the end of these strings, look for the moment where he uses both of his legs in the combo if you're doing the square attacks. So like, for example, once he does lifts the left leg and then lifts the right leg for like the 1-2 can kicks, that's when you want to go for the heavy finish. And for the second phase, pretty much the same thing. When he jumps up to the air and does like the whole flying strikes above him, that's when you want to go for the heavy finish, because otherwise you're gonna keep going this and like, what the fuck's happening? Or you're gonna overshoot and keep going this part of combo, and then you're like, shit, I didn't want to do that. Oops. Guess I bailed early and did something else. That's so bad. Trust me, this screwed me up for like about an hour before I finally pinned it down. I was like, okay, this is what's going on. It's this problem precisely. So just a little bit of advice for anyone who wants to put time in Nuova Shenron. His normals can be a little weird. Like, it's almost like he is using those wings on him to like just hover above the opponent, but it's not unfeasible. This is not like learning fucking Devil Jin and Tekken. There's just a stability to this. It's not too bad. Let's get into water really quickly. Okay, so do I have anything else in my notes? Sorry, I don't know how long my mouse is on the screen for. Not a big deal. As if it wasn't obvious, this is an emulator. By the way, I did get compliments for how good the emulator looks. This is, yeah, no, this game really needs an HD port, like, without a doubt. I should make a video essay about it. Let's see. Oh yeah, so I mentioned this before, but it's the smash attacks, but the charging takes a while, and it's a damn shame, because like, he's got some giant fucking moves, way better than Gotenks, and by a mile. So he's got like a downward smash. He's just completely not even there. Look at giant move to the left, giant move to the right. I'm gonna say, oh yeah, it's got like a swooping motion in there. The up charge is really good. Down charge I don't use too much. It's okay. And standard is okay. I will say that. But again, it takes a while for each of these to actually charge. I mean, I know this. If you're going for snap attacks, it can be a little more difficult for you if you're used to like a fast charge like the Super Saiyan 3s or 4s. But besides that fact, not horrible. Did you break the lock on? Okay. So yeah, it can throw you off a little bit. Oh wow, that had no reason to hit whatsoever. That is ridiculous, actually. Holy shit. Okay, that's kind of cool. So yeah, just be wary of that. And if you want to use Nuova Shenron, it's not someone you can just like pop in and expect results. Like if you were to go from Super Saiyan 3 Goku to Gogeta, because I feel like they're very similar in concept. No, with him you need a little methodology, I guess, not mythology. That's something else entirely. This is not mythos. It's not lore yet. No, you just need to pace yourself a little bit, and you can get some really good results out of them, I'd say. Oh yeah, the rushing attacks, or running attacks, like key blasts. I didn't quite cover these in depth with Gotenks, but these ones are pretty decent. They home on your opponent pretty well. I feel like because of his potentially increased dash speed, combined with how fast he does charge his key blasts, and they do cause a hard knockdown, and they take out like a quarter of a full health bar, which is not bad really. And their tracking, it's not bad. Just like swoop around the screen, play keep away, and if they try doing something, you can just hit him with a burst attack. So it's not bad. I honestly think that's a pretty good option if you so choose to go that route. Okay, is there anything else in my notes I may have missed? Key blast, charge key blast, excellent blast ones, fourth hits, rolling hammer, distribution moves, so nice. Oh yeah, if you go into max power with him, he will actually alternate between using burst attack and burning tornado for his follow-ups. So like if I were to go ahead and give an example, oops, sorry. It's like burst, burning tornado, and if I were to like, depending on what you do, you can get different things. And if you're accidentally still holding the direction, you can fuck up entirely. So, you know, oopsie. Oh, I know there are different. I have seen him actually do burst attack in certain instances. Whoa, I didn't even know he had that one. What the fuck? How did he do that? Oh wow, he's got both of them. That's actually kind of rare. I was meaning to do this actually. There we go. What the? I was holding L2 and somehow did the follow up. That's weird. No, what I want to do. Yeah, there we go. So you can get. It will alternate sometimes between the two. Be sure to practice your max power combo routes beforehand before you do it, so you don't accidentally like fuck up a do Burning Tornado for some odd reason. The gun does have good range, and max power does bring in the damage a little bit, you know, etc., etc. Still pretty good stuff. Yeah, no, okay, so that's just what I'm gonna cover for Nuova Shenron. For its combo routes, they're not too bad. Again, yeah, I fucked that up. Again, you want to practice the timing of its hits in order to eke out max damage. Again, you can feel free to kind of just use a low sweep into flying kicks whenever you want, because most of its attacks do have enough hit stun to. Excuse me. Most of its attacks do have enough hit stun naturally in order to just kind of lead into itself, so not too bad of an option. Yeah, so you can just kind of go ahead and dictate the pacing as you will, and you'll be pretty okay. So yeah, I do believe that is actually it for Nuova Shenron. All in all, pretty strong character. I'm going to say that he is pretty okay. Arguably better than Super 17 if you're not running customs, because 17 needs custom setups to be good. Oh my god. Normally he's not that great, but under customs, he can dick with people. Probably on par with standard Sin Shenron, I would say. I say that despite the fact that standard Shenron has a very bullshit blast too, but not too horrible. Arguably better than most of the baby forms. I would just completely say that. And yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know what I'm gonna do next, unless I could again, if you send me $20 on PayPal and leave a description of what you want me to tackle, I will make a guide for that character if I know them. Which, if it's depending on the game, I can just kind of lap for an afternoon and then be like, hey, here's some good results. So yeah, if you have suggestions or you want me to tackle more stuff, go ahead and send me stuff on PayPal, I guess. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace.